is that the sound iPad? Is that one of y'all's iPad? Your iPad? Is that Pratt's? Oh, that's the speaker. Okay, guys, if you could get settled, we're going to get started here in just a second. All right, I think we got our last ones trickling in, so we'll go ahead and get started. I know we were a few minutes behind, but I just want to welcome everyone to our Dixon campus Community Veterans Day recognition and celebration. Give you a little bit of the vision on this. We talked about it last year, but it's been kind of a vision that came together last year when we started this for the first time. But Mr. Wheatley and the Dixon Elementary School folks have had a good Veterans Day program for several years. And then at years, the high school, middle school would each have their own program. So instead of everyone kind of splitting up and veterans having to choose which child they were going to go with, which program, we wanted to house it here so it could be something special for our community and our veterans to be recognized and celebrated by everyone on the Dixon campus. So with that being said, at this time I'm going to introduce our leader for the program, and his students will be doing many of the things you'll see here today. So please welcome Mr. Eric Wheatley, principal of Dixon Elementary School.
Good afternoon. Oh, okay. And welcome to our Veterans Day program. On behalf of the Webster County School District, it is an honor to recognize and celebrate the brave men and women who have served our nation. We are truly grateful for your presence with us today and your dedication and support of our country. We know of the many sacrifices you have made and many that we know of nothing about, and we are just so appreciative of the time that you've put in to make our country better. Today, we pause to reflect on the freedoms we enjoy and to remember those that were sacrificed through this dedication and courage of our veterans. Your service reminds us of the strength and comes from unity, perseverance, and the love of country, values we strive to instill in our students each day. As we begin our program, we extend our deepest gratitude to all the veterans and to the families who have supported them. May today's celebration serve as a reminder of our respect and our appreciation and our ongoing commitment to honor your legacy throughout our actions and our service to others. At this time, we would like for you to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by our Dixon Elementary Student Council and Miss Mandy Dock's classroom. Wait for the girls. Wait for everybody to get up. Just wait for everybody. Is it good enough?
Let's get up a little bit. That's good.
One more second. Wait till all of you situated. There you go.
Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will you please stand if you're able to for our national anthem?
about you? This is a poem by.
This is a poem by, it's called In the Wind by Ron Rogers.
In the wind, a flag flies. Oh, say, can you see? The symbol of freedom and bravery. In the wind are the breaths that power its flight. From laughter to prayers to sound of the fight. In the wind, on land, or even by sea. Soldiers and sailors, airmen and marines. In the wind is the scent of black powder and mud. Cigarettes in the trenches to cover the blood. In the wind, on the shores at Omaha Beach, lie the voices we've buried in Normandy. In the wind, headlines send our troops into danger, into harsh lands, brothers in arms, yet still total strangers. In the wind, choppers rumble, bombs burst in the air, boots stomp the ground, 1,000 miles stare. In the wind are the howls of the wounded and doomed. Tell my children I love them, it's the least you can do.
In the wind, bullets whiz.
In the wind, bullets whiz. In the wind, prayers are said. In the wind, we play taps to honor our dead.
play taps to honor our
In the wind, a tear falls. A gold star is created. Another folded flag.
Another folded flag on behalf of a grateful nation. In the wind, men have marched.
To the ends of the earth, trading life for freedom for what it's worth. In the wind, at first light, we hoist up old glory for all to see, as the wind softly muffles a trumpet's reveille.
In the wind are the whispers of the birth of a nation, and the voices of soldiers from all generations. In the wind are the echoes of the fight to stay free. In the wind are the tearful shouts of victory.
In the wind, we remember with celebrations and chatter, a way to say thank you, their sacrifice matters. In the wind flies the flag of a people resolved. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. To support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. And to bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. That I will obey. The orders of. The President of the United States. And the orders of. Those officers appointed over me according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
We celebrate Veterans Day on the anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I. The armistice that began on the 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month. The timing of this holiday is quite deliberate in terms of historical fact. But somehow it always seems quite fitting to me that this day comes deep in autumn, when the colors are muted and the days seem to invite contemplation. It is, in a way, an odd thing to honor those who died in defense of our country, in defense of us, in wars far away. The imagination plays a trick. We see these soldiers in our mind as old and wise, but most of them were boys when they died, and they gave up two lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. When they died, they gave up their chance to be husbands and fathers and grandfathers. They gave up their chance to be revered old men. They gave up everything for our country, for us. And all we can do is remember. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. In memory of those who gave the last full measure of devotion, may our efforts to achieve lasting peace gain strength. Let us make a vow to our dead. Let us show them by our actions that we understand what they died for. Strengthened by their courage, heartened by their value, and borne by their memory, let us continue to stand for the ideals for which they lived and died.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. We shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
The history of Veterans Day. World War I, known at the time as the Great War, officially ended when the Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28, 1919, in the Palace of Versailles outside of the town of Versailles, France. However, fighting ceased 7 months earlier when an armistice or temporary cessation of hostilities between the Allied nations and Germany went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For that reason, November 11th, 1918 is generally regarded as the end of the war to end all wars. Veterans Day continues to be observed on November 11th, regardless of what day of the week on which it falls. The restoration of the observance of Veterans Day to November 11th does not only preserves the historical significance of the date, but helps focus attention on the important purpose of Veterans Day, a celebration to honor America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and the willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. Thank you.
Difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day. Many people confuse Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Memorial Day is a day for remembering and honoring military personnel who died in the service of their country, particularly those who died in battle or as a result of wounds sustained in battle. While those who died are also remembered, Veterans Day is a day set aside to thank and honor all those who served honorably in the military, in wartime or in times of peace. In fact, Veterans Day is largely intended to thank living veterans for their service, to acknowledge that their contributions to our national security are appreciated, and to underscore the fact that all those who served, not only those who died, have sacrificed and done their duty. So if you know a veteran or see those who have served, be sure to thank them for their love and support of our country and the choice to serve and protect it.
everyone.
Like, I don't know when to start. Okay, start reading. Okay. I walked through a county courthouse square. On a park bench, an old man was sitting there. I said, "Your old courthouse is kind of run down." He said, "No, it'll do for our little town." I said, "Your flagpole has leaned a little bit, and that's a ragged old flag you got hanging on it."
He said, "Have a seat," and I sat down. "Is this the first time you've been to our little town?" I said, "I think it is." He said, "I don't like to brag, but we're kind of proud of that ragged old flag."
You see, we got a little hole in that flag there. When Washington took it across the Delaware and it's got power to burn to the night Francis Scott Key sat watching its writing, "Oh, say can you see?" And it got a bad rip in New Orleans, with Pakenham and Jackson tugging at its seams.
And it almost fell at the Alamo, beside the Texas flag, but she waved on through. She got cut with the sword at Chancellorsville, and she got cut again at Shiloh Hill. There was Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg, and the south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag.
On Flanders Field in World War I, she got a big hole from a Bertha gun. She turned blood red in World War II. She hung limp and low by the time it was through. She was in Korea and Vietnam. She went where she was sent by her Uncle Sam.
She waved from our ships upon the briny foam, and now they about quit waving her back here at home. In her own good land she's been abused. She's been burned, dishonored, denied, and refused.
And the government for which she stands and scandalized throughout the land. And she's getting threadbare and wearing thin, but she's in good shape for the shape she's in, because she's been through the fire before, and I believe she can take a whole lot more.
So we raise her upright, take her down every night. We don't let her touch the ground, and we fold her up right. On second thought, I do like to brag, 'cause I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag.
Thank you all for your patience as we worked through some issues as we're getting it delivered. But we added a little part this year. We want to do a special spotlight because as a local homer that likes unique and random information, we do want to share a spotlight over a couple of special veterans that we have with us in Webster County and do a spotlight over them. And Mr. Colodi, if you want to wait till stand to the end, don't feel like you got to stand through the whole thing, okay? So hold tight just for a minute. So our first one that we're going to recognize is here with us today, Richard Colodi, who is a World War II veteran and unspoken hero. The write-up, it has World War II veteran Richard A. Colodi served in the Marine Air Corps from 1942 to 1946. Born in Brady, Texas on Valentine's Day, 1925, Richard Collodi moved to San Antonio in 1926, 2 blocks from the Alamo, and later to Dallas, where he graduated from high school. He joined the Marine Corps at the age of 17, right out of high school. His parents had to sign for him to get him into the U.S. Marines because they would not let you join unless you were 18 years old. He joined the 1st Marine Air Wing at San Diego, California, and became part of the newly formed Marine Torpedo Bombing Squadron. It came into existence on 22nd of May, 1943, and they flew gunmen on TBF planes. This VMTB 233 squadron landed on Guadalcanal on 9th of August, 1943. He met his late wife, Florence, in 1944 in Murray, Kentucky on a blind date, and then got married on May 7th, 1945. And to quote him from earlier today, he said they went on a blind date, then they went on another date, and she wouldn't leave him alone, so they got married. That's what he said today. And he also said the place where they live in Webster County on 138, she was born in the front room of that house. And like I said, Miss Florence is no longer with us, but they lived in Slaughters, Kentucky, where they had 2 boys, Monty and Randy. They were married for 52 wonderful years. This is impressive to me as well. He started going to Sunday school at church in 1948 at Slaughters Methodist Church, and 72 years and 3 Sundays later, he had never missed a Sunday until COVID hit and shut down churches and shutting everything down. He has visited churches all over the South. He is still living at his home in Slaughters, Kentucky, living a simple life and sharing his stories for all to hear, and we got to hear some of those today. And we're so proud to have him with us. He is 100 years old. He's told us in 3 days he'll be 100 years and 9 months old. Please join me in recognizing and thanking Mr. Collodi. We are beyond blessed and honored to have you with us, Mr. Collodi. The Webster County Homer part I was talking about, there are only 2 surviving World War II veterans remaining in Webster County that we know about, one of which is Mr. Collodi, who is 100 years old, and our other one is Mr. Billy Blankenship, who is 103 and is not able to be with us today, can't get around very well, but still sharp-minded and doing well. And this is a little write-up about Mr. Blankenship. Billy Blankenship, Sergeant, Field Artillery, Battery A, 607th Field Artillery Battalion, for meritorious service in connection with military operations against the enemy from the 12th of March, 1945 to the 8th of May, 1945 in France, Germany, and Austria, serving with a forward observation team. Sergeant Blankenship, because of his quick wit, keen alertness, penetrating powers of observation, and retentive memory, was an invaluable aid to the forward observers. Many enemy targets, which otherwise might have been overlooked, were picked up by Sergeant Blankenship, resulting in an increase in enemy casualties and destroyed material. His steadfastness under enemy fire enhanced his abilities to be as a keen observer. He entered military service from Dixon, Kentucky. And the unique piece about this that was shared with us, this is his citation for the award of a Bronze Star Medal. So although he can't be with us here today, let's celebrate and recognize our other World War II surviving veteran, Mr. Billy Blankenship. Students, that may not mean much to you right now, whether you're 2nd grade to 12th grade, but World War II, that generation is a very special generation of people that there are not many left around. As Mr. Collodi was talking to us today, he can't find any of his surviving squadron mates, friends in the service because none of them are still living, and we're proud to have him with us here today. So again, let's recognize and congratulate and have him one more time take an ovation for Mr. Collodi for being here with us today and Mr. Blankenship.
It is my honor and privilege to introduce our guest speaker today. Lieutenant Colonel Heather Crooks grew up in Concordant, Kentucky, over in Henderson County, and graduated from Henderson County High School in 1996. She then went to college at MIT and majored in mechanical engineering. The same day she graduated from college, she was commissioned as an officer in the U.S. Air Force. She was the Air Force for 20 years and was stationed all over the country and in Germany twice. She even deployed to Afghanistan. She was a flight test engineer and a foreign area officer, and she flew over 30 different airplanes, including fighter jets, and her favorite aircraft, which is the F-117 stealth fighter. She is now retired and moved back home to Dixie, where she is a full-time mom to her 3 kids. She has 2 boys and 1 little girl. Please join me in welcoming Lieutenant Colonel Heather Crooks.
There we go. All right, sorry, Reese. I didn't want to embarrass you. I've just known Reese since he was a baby, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much for allowing me to be here today. I'm going to walk around a little bit, if that's okay with you guys. Can we get another round of applause for all of the students who have participated today, and for our band? You guys are amazing. All right, I'm gonna come back here to my littles. Did any of you do anything for today? Did you talk or sing? You did. Were you nervous? You guys nervous to come here today? I'm a little bit nervous right now. Even though I'm a grown-up, I still get nervous. And I like to do this with my elementary school kiddos. Can you guys take a deep breath with me? Okay, that helps, but I still have a little bit of nervous energy. So, and you big kids can do this too. Without touching your neighbor, can you get the wiggles out? Can you get the wiggles out with me? There we go. All right, okay, I feel better. Okay, so you guys can do this before you have a big test or something like that, right? It's okay to be nervous sometimes. I have a question for you little ones too. Do you guys know what the different services are in the military? Yes? Mm-hmm. There's the Marine Corps. What else is there? The Air Force, that's my favorite. What else? The Army, that's 3. What about you? That's right. What else? What do you have? We said the Marine Corps, we've got the Navy, and there's 2 more. 2 more. What do you think? The Coast Guard, and then there's 1 more. It's a brand new service, and they fly the satellites up in space. What are they called? Space Force, you got it. Excellent. Thank you so much, guys. So everybody here knows now that a veteran is someone who has served or is currently serving in one of those 6 forces. I'm gonna move around, okay? I gotta get to my iPad where my notes are. But being a veteran means more than just wearing a uniform or fighting in a war, right? It means standing up for what you believe. It means raising your right hand and saying, "Send me, I will go." Even when it's hard, even when it's scary, even if you're being shot at, and even if you're far from home. I gotta find my spot. Okay, so some of you might be thinking, well, I don't really know any veterans, but I found out this morning that your superintendent, who taught here, then was a principal here, and is now your superintendent, he spent 10 years in the Marine Corps. Can we give him a round of applause too? I want to tell you about 2 Webster County veterans. First is Mr. Ivan Russell. Mr. Russell was a U.S. Army veteran who was deployed during World War II to Tunisia, and he was captured just outside of American lines and sent to a German prisoner of war camp. And when he was there, astonishingly, he found other soldiers from Webster County, tens of thousands of miles away, and there are soldiers from Webster County in the same prisoner of war camp. He was there for over 2.5 years. When he came back home, he also joined into the education system for this county, and he was the principal at Stanley Elementary many, many moons ago, Clay High School, my elementary school of Corden Elementary School, and right here at Webster County High School. Another veteran from Webster County was Steve Sharp. He was from Seabury and was called into service to the United States Army. He served in Vietnam, and unfortunately, he did not make it home. His name is forever inscribed on the Vietnam War Memorial in Washington, D.C. My point here is that veterans aren't just people that you read about in your history books. They're your neighbors, they're your parents' friends, they're your parents sometimes, they're your superintendent. They could be the lady volunteering at the library. Veterans are all over your community, and they have shaped our lives in ways that we don't always see or understand. If you've ever been able to walk down your street and you felt safe, or you've been able to voice your opinion and you haven't been afraid of what would happen to you for having a different opinion than someone else, or if you've been able to go to school, especially my ladies here, that is a right and a privilege that's afforded to you by a veteran. I have been to places where you can't speak your mind for fear of retribution. And I have been to places where girls are not allowed to go to school. And we are thankful in America that we don't have to face that. Please remember that Veterans Day is about respect, and it's about gratitude. It's about realizing the rights and the opportunities we have that weren't automatic. They were protected by the people who raised their hand and said, "Send me, I will go." So let's remember that today is not just about missing class, although I know that's kind of cool. It's not just about a parade you might see on TV, and it's not a lesson in your history book. It's a chance to thank those who have served and to learn from their example and to think about ways that you guys can serve as well right now in your own life. So I'm watching the littles back there. They're like my timekeepers. If they get wiggly, it means I need to either talk faster or be funnier. Okay, so I've been asked to tell you a little bit about my story, and I know we don't have a lot of time. So I'm gonna give you one big point from what I've learned in my time in the Air Force. I wanted to be a flight tester. I love flight tests. I loved everything that had to do with fast aircraft and seeing what we could do to make them better, putting on new pieces and parts and maybe a new sensor, a new weapon, something like that. The first place the Air Force stationed me was at a research lab as a materials engineer, which is about as far from test pilot school and the flight test world as you can get. But I decided that I was going to apply to test pilot school as soon as I could, which was at about 2001. So in 2001, I applied to test pilot school, and guess what? I did not get in. Okay, so I was a little bummed out, but every year you can apply. So in 2002, I applied again, and guess what happened this time? I did not get in. Okay, so I'm feeling a little bummed out, but I got a phone call one day, and someone in Southern California, where all the flight testing happened, asked me if I wanted to work on the F-117 stealth fighter. I thought I was dreaming. I couldn't believe it. It's the super cool jet. It looks like a triangle. It's black. You can't see it on the radar, right? So I was very excited, and I said, "Yes, please let me come work for you." So I went out to Southern California, and when I was there, I was really close to test pilot school. And so, because I could see it. It was that close. So in 2003, I said, "You know what? I'm going to try it again. I've got some flight test experience. Let's do it. So I applied again for test pilot school. Do you know what happened? I did not get in. I still didn't get in. I tried 3 times, and I still did not get in. So I learned a lot more. I learned about myself. I made myself better. I learned all about flight testing on the F-117. I learned how to write test cards. And then in 2004, it was time to apply again. Do you think I applied? I didn't. I started to, and I filled out the application, and then I got a phone call. And they said, "Hey, guess what? You were actually on the alternate list last year. And so we want to pull you into the next class. It starts in a few weeks. Are you in? Of course. So I tell you this because I want you to know that just because you're told no about a job that you want, or you don't do as well maybe on your SATs and you're trying to get into a really good school, just keep trying. Don't give up. It's about perseverance and making yourself better and trying to get that goal that you're shooting for. Do we have time for some questions? Does anybody have any questions for me? You can ask me within reason and within time. Anything about the Air Force or going to college or living in Germany or anything like that. Okay, you guys are gonna have to bear with me. It's gonna take me a minute. Can you meet me down here maybe, right here? Can you meet me down there? You can come on down. I'm gonna have to go all the way up there. Yeah, you, come on down. And then I'll come back to you, okay? You're okay, I'm just gonna pass it over. All right.
How many planes do you fly? Like, every day? And when you were in the Army?
Okay, so how many planes did I fly every day? So when I was in test pilot school, I flew, I mean, you can only, well, I shouldn't say you can only fly one airplane a day, but usually that's what happens. When I was in test pilot school, the point of the school was to teach you how to test different kinds of aircraft. And so they brought in a lot of different airplanes for us to fly. I got to fly the F-15 and the F-16. I flew in the C-130. I flew in an airplane that landed on the water. That was pretty fun. Okay, what about you? You had a question.
What type of plane was what type of suits do you have to wear?
Oh, when you fly? Okay, so you wear something like this, which we joke and say it's like our pajamas, right? It looks like a onesie, you just zip it right up. But when you're flying one of those really fast airplanes and you're pulling a lot of G-forces and it makes you feel real heavy, you have a special suit that you wear that squeezes your legs and it helps keep the blood in your brain so that you don't pass out. All right, the little ones always have such great questions. What about you? Do you want to hold it?
Why do you want to be an Army soldier?
Well, I'll switch that around a little bit. Why did I want to be in the military? Because I wanted to defend and keep our people safe here at home. And I also thought jets were pretty cool. All right, let's see. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How about way over here in the corner? In the red. Yes. You can just yell it at me. I'll repeat it. That happens to me too. I forget sometimes too. What about you? The first plane that I ever flew in the military was a T-38, and it was a jet trainer. And I will tell you, I giggled all the way down the runway because it went so fast. All right, I'm gonna take one more from down here, and then I'll move over there. Yeah.
I just wanted to say that my birthday today, and my great-grandma, she's still alive, and she did ammunition.
That is amazing. Tell her thank you for me, okay? All right, okay, I'm gonna move over here. We've only got a couple times for questions, or a couple questions left.
Being a woman, did you face any discrimination or prejudice?
Whew. All right. So I will say that the career fields that I was in as an engineer and as a flight tester, and then later as a foreign area officer, there were just as many women as there were men. So I didn't face some of the things that some of the ladies in previous years had faced. All right, let's see. Let me go all the way over here. What do we got? We got anybody over here? Oh my good gravy. How about one more up here? I have not flown an A-10 Warthog, although I have friends that have flown them. They're really awesome airplanes, but they were a single-seater, and I needed to be in the back, so I didn't get to fly those. Is that good? All right. Okay, my little timers back there are getting wiggly. So I'm going to end here, and I thank you very much for letting me be a part of your day. This has been a fantastic program. I am so impressed. Thank you so much. Oh, you don't have to stand up. Guys, thank you so much. Okay, so it is now my honor to introduce someone to you who's very important to me, and he's one of the reasons that I joined the Air Force. This is my uncle, Dwight Crooks, who was an Airman Second Class, and he's going to talk to you guys today about the honor flight.
Can you hear me? Oh, yeah. I'm not going to walk around like she did because I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. I'm here to talk about Honor Flight. What is Honor Flight? It's an organization that honors veterans by taking them on a trip to Washington, D.C. to see all of the memorials there. I took the flight 3-4 years ago, and I was so impressed with the organization and the people that had that put together that I decided I was going to volunteer and help in any way I could. So twice a year I get to go interview the potential candidates that are going to go on the flight. What's the mission of the Honor Flight? To celebrate America's veterans by inviting them to share a day of honor at our nation's memorials. The vision of Honor Flight is to have a nation where all of America's veterans experience the honor, gratitude, and community support that they deserve. The Honor Flight Network is a national nonprofit organization comprised of independent hubs working together to achieve the Honor Flight mission. Now, I use the word hubs. Evansville is a hub. Louisville is a hub. 46 states in this nation have Honor Flights organizations. Participation in an Honor Flight trip gives the veterans an opportunity to share the momentous occasion with other comrades, remember the fallen, and share their stories and experiences with other veterans. And believe me, on the trip you hear a lot of them. It's amazing. Honored veterans always travel free of charge, thanks to generous donations to the organization. 10 years ago, the first Honor Flight left Evansville Airport on the very first Honor Flight for that hub. And on May the 2nd, 2026, flight number 20 will go airborne shortly after 5 a.m. for Washington, D.C. Sometimes a few veterans are reluctant to take this trip, once-in-a-lifetime trip. The folks in the organization will work with them continuously to try to convince them that this is a trip of a lifetime they need to go. Should a veteran wish not to fly, for whatever reasons they may have, now there is a virtual Honor Flight trip. The second one will be held on December the 6th, 2026, in a place in Evansville, Indiana. It's on Milroy Drive, or Road. They will be shown the memorials and other places of interest. They're going to feed them because they're going to be there most of the day. And they're going to have a lot of people talk like we do here in the Veterans Appreciation. Prior to the date of your scheduled flight, there will be a few gatherings where you will get to meet and greet, learn things about what's going to happen, who's going to be going. And they will have a program where there will be some things given to them to keep as a keepsake for the trip that they are taking. If there are any veterans today here that have not thought about going on a honor flight mission, I just happen to have some forms that you can fill out, and I'd be glad to take your name and number and get you signed up. Let me get through this here. If they're to the students, if you have parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, if they are in the military, you can tell them about honor flight and we can find out how to get in touch with them and get them signed up to go on the flights. I'll have to have their name, telephone number, date of birth, and a DD-214. That's what qualifies you to go. If I'll leave some forms here with Principal Hankins. If somebody does come and want to sign up, he can get them to me because I see him every Sunday. Sometimes before that too. If you have any questions for me, I'll just stand outside the door and you can ask me on the way out. I tell you that I was in the Air Force and did my tour duty, Ramstein Air Base, which was a strategic air command base when I was there in the early 60s during the Vietnam War. And Vietnam War was an atrocity. I had a roommate that was transferred out of Vietnam to Ramstein. And that young man was in pretty bad shape when he got there. And I don't know what happened to him. He was from California. We stayed in touch. And that doesn't have anything to do with honor flight. That's just something that I remember. I said I was in the Air Force, and my duty was enforcing the law. I was a military policeman. And yes, I got some experiences I can share. To the administration here at Webster County High, student body, and those visiting here and celebrating the veterans today, thank you, and it is my pleasure to come and talk to you. Have a good day.
All right, good afternoon. At this time, we will have our U.S. Armed Forces recognition. Our high school band will play each branch's anthem. We ask all service members that are in attendance to please stand once we play your branch's anthem. We will begin with the Marines. Okay, at this time, we'll ask every service member to stand.
Thank you, band. At this time, our band is going to continue with another one, God Bless America.
Thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans. Thank you.
Thank you for your service and for everything you've done. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans, for our service.
Thank you for your service. Thank you, veterans, for your service.
Thank you, veterans, for fighting for our freedom.
Thank you, veterans.
Thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans.
Thank you, veterans.
Thank you, veterans.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service and everything you have done for us. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, all veterans.
Thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans, for all you do. Thank you, veterans.
Please join us in a moment of silence to honor the service and sacrifice of all our nation's veterans. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. We just want to support all of our veterans, and we really appreciate everyone coming out tonight. Mr. Hankins is going to tell you where to go.
Good job, Reagan. Someone took her paper from the podium, so she didn't know where to tell everybody to dismiss, but you did a good job. All right, at this time, Dixon Elementary folks, we're going to let y'all dismiss and go on out these doors. Middle school, once they are gone, you will go down those steps and go out the double doors. High school students, just wait until everyone's gone, and then we'll dismiss you. Thank you again to our veterans. Appreciate your service. Thank you for being here today.